Well, the record cash rate increase has prompted National leader Christopher Luxon's biggest back-down yet.
He signalled he'll review much of his tax policy, including his plan to axe the top tax rate. Here's political editor Jenna Lynch.
Jump aboard the backpaddle boat with Christopher Luxon.
It's entirely appropriate that we actually go back and actually think through what can this country afford.
Turning around the good ship tax cut.
The situation has changed, big time.
And so, a big time back down. National had promised to scrap the 39% tax on earnings over 180 grand, but Luxon's giving up the fight.
We would like to offer people tax relief, but when I look at things, when we look ahead, if I think about the 39% tax rate in particular, that's something that I really want to think about.
It got him smashed about by both sides, the political left hook.
I just don't think you can trust National on tax.
And an uppercut from the right.
You don't beat Labor by becoming Labor.
His friends and foes smelling the political rubber burning.
And there's been so many U-turns over the last few weeks on policy, it's hard to keep up.
He's gone down to the parking lot, put the diesel on the tarmac and done a big doughy lighting it up in his Nissan.
But Luxon serving up some home truths.
Let's get really sobering about the reality of this. Interest rates are going to continue to rise because inflation is stubbornly high, and we are now heading to recession.
At the moment, with what New Zealand's facing, we don't need people whose first reaction is to panic.
Tax cuts, the one U-turn to rule them all.
OK, Jenna, so how politically damaging is this for National?
Yeah, not as bad as it sounds. National needed to ditch this policy anyway. Tax cuts for the top 2% in the middle of a cost of living crisis is hardly a middle New Zealand vote winner. It was the biggest stick that Labor had to beat them with, tax cuts for the wealthy. So Adrian Orr has given them an excuse to grab that stick and just chuck it in the river. The biggest risk for National now, though, is this constant state of flip-flop and U-turn that Christopher Luxon is in. It is now a trust problem. But for Labor, it is much worse. There is a world of pain coming, with predictions showing that election day could well be an economic doomsday as well. The Reserve Bank predicting that these dark economic clouds are going to roll all the way into the last 2 quarters of next year. So expect to start seeing Labor talking up its crisis management credentials, selling itself as the ones to trust to take us through this cost of living crisis.
Political editor Jenna Lynch live at Parliament. Thanks for your analysis.